Sorry folks, technical difficulties here, but we are back here. Abby Gustitis and Alex Corbacero, ARPTC versus Boston. Boston with the ball going into the ARPTC
Welcome
half.
back to the action.
And Boston with the line break. ARPTC able to drag her down. Great support by Boston. She picks it up around the ruck. A little indecision. One Boston player is down. ARPTC able to hold on. Great defensive effort so far. They're 7 up. Boston looks to move it. Oh, attempts a little kick through. ARPTC recovers their ball within their own 10 meters. Interception and try by Boston. That has got the crowd going here at Starfire in Seattle, Washington. That is 5 points for Boston. Up early lead for them against ARPTC.
Strong try there, good pressure from the Boston Bells.
And she put that down with conviction. Intercept try, we love that.
Absolutely, and I guess going against the grain of what some thought this game might have been, it's a strong start for Boston Bells.
And that's Jenny Cronish with the try. 2 minutes into this match. ARPTC set up to receive this kickoff. Boston with players all the way out right, seeing if they can try to regather this one. And it's a great restart. Boston with the tap back, that's the try scorer. Boston ball, a little messy out of the ruck. Able, oh, just unlucky there with the knock on. ARPTC's first possession. And there is the speedster going around the outside and dotting it down right under the post.
That is Sophia Lossisuro. Excuse my poor pronunciation. I apologize, Lossisuro with the try there. And just like that, that's ARPTC striking back into the game after that strong start from Boston and exposing the space on the edge. Very well finished try, and the conversion is good. And that makes it tied at 7 points all in this game, Abby.
Just the response we expect to see from a seasoned team like the American Rugby Pro Training Center. Full-time environment down in Little Rock, Arkansas. These players have been together for several months in preparation for this tournament, and it certainly shows.
Boston take the restart, recycle the ruck. They move the ball down the line. Keeping it alive in the offload. Strong defensive pressure from ARPTC, but Boston managed to recycle it. Dancing around the 22. Staying alive in the contact, they recycle again. Take it into contact. Vicious line speed coming from ARPTC here in defense. As Boston forced to go down the short side. They're keeping the ball alive. Tackles made, but there could be space opening up on that outside. Doesn't look like it, as ARPTC coming up again, shutting them down in defense. But Boston doing a good job of keeping possession.
Boston just not realigning. They're not getting back, not putting themselves in great position to work off the ball. staying really tight to that ruck, which if you're ARPTC, that's where you want them to go.
As they go again, really resourcing down that short side. Breaks through the ruck.
No support for Boston.
Isolated. Referee deems it okay that she got up, released, and carried on playing. Boston somehow keeping the ball alive, hacks through. They make the tackle. ARPTC keeping the ball alive. It's scrappy, but they have possession here. In their own half. Scrappy ball. ARPTC with the fend, she straightens. Can't quite get the offload away, and that's Boston who regather. Referee deems out a forward pass. Scrum to the Boston Bells, and that's some exciting action there, Abby. A lot of ball in play.
A lot of ball in play, which is exactly exhausting for the players. And they look at, they're a little tired. They're not getting the ball out. Boston working so hard to get those few meters they were able to gain. Kick, I think, was a good option for them. They had a great chase back for Boston, and now it's their set piece in the attacking 22. They have split back. Fly half gets the ball, 2v2 on the open side. Great tackle made by ARPTC. Boston able to hold on to it, spots a little gap. Half line break, great support, and she goes again. Boston score. ARPTC leaving that breakdown and getting, the tackler is getting out, but Boston is able to just pick the ball up and go again. We've seen that several times here, exploiting ARPTC.
That's Rachel Harkuvi with the try, the ability to stay alive, release that ball, get back to her feet and carry on. Referee deemed it fine, and that is the try. And that's a strong response from Boston, making this a proper game as the conversion is good. That leads to 14-7 Boston over ARPTC. As we look nearing the halftime whistle, looks like we still have one more play to go.
Boston did a great job on their last kickoff, maintaining that ball with a little tap back. Let's see if they'll go for that short option again. Boston player coming in now. 7 on the pitch for each side. ARPTC set up to receive, needing to put a name. We love the aerial contest. Another good kick. ARPTC a little easier to gather this time. 1v1 tackle is made by Boston. Recycling that ball out wide, getting the ball into that winger's hand. Oh, unlucky from the winger. That's the try score from earlier. She might have been gone had she caught that ball. So we go into halftime. 14-7, Boston is up.
Strong first half from Boston here. Putting ARPTC under pressure, taking their chances and making this a real game, Abby. If you're ARPTC, what are the key aspects of the game that you need to get right in the second half?
Getting that tackle completed and forcing the breakdown. We saw Boston have a lot of success just picking and going again and exploiting right around that area. If they make a clean tackle and then they have a counter rucker, that's gonna force Boston to keep that ball and place it back to their teammates. They're not having as much success when they have to do multi-phase play.
So kind of playing through the ruck, keeping that ball alive, but sort of through and not getting trapped by that defensive wall of ARPTC. Key aspect of the game for them to try and continue to score here. And then if you're ARPTC, what are you saying to yourselves now? And what are you trying to do in attack to get more tries on the board and get the points? Because they've had opportunities.
Definitely had opportunities. They could even tighten up just a little bit to not force the long passes, which gives Boston time to slide. they can tighten up, get that ball to their winger even faster, even if it's just a meter or two. We've seen the speed from their wingers, and we love to see them running up, scoring tries, and I love this contest so far. You have ARPTC, which is a fan favorite here. They're a well-established team, a 2015 national champion, two-time medalist apart from that. And Boston, this is a combination of Boston and Beantown women's rugby. It's an exciting time for them. They haven't had much game time together, but they're playing pretty well, and we've seen some cohesiveness from them.
7 minutes remaining in this match. Who will take it? We have a close one on our hands as Boston look to kick off. Good height on the ball there, and they get it back. Huge moment in the game.
Boston able to regain that. Unfortunately, a little knock in the breakdown, but great aerial contest. You see, they've continued to kick to that same area and had a lot of success there. If I were ARPTC, maybe I'd look to put a pod if that's within their toolbox, or otherwise you could just double stack in order to really make sure you hold on to that ball. But opportunity here for ARPTC. Set piece, they get the ball to the center. She's moving across the field, trying to pin the defenders, and she's backing herself. She has support inside. Oh, she gives it off. And that is ARPTC. Autumn Lusuru. Again, she has been electric for ARPTC. We know she's dangerous with ball in hand. This time she was set up by Georgie Paris-Redding, and then got the offload on the inside and able to finish.
It was the pace of Paris-Redding, who looking to back herself on the outside, even though she didn't quite get the try herself, causing almost that disconnect in the defense. As you see here, taking them on the edge.
Ball in two hands.
And then that offload back inside, catching the disconnect in the defense, is all she wrote for the try for ARPTC.
And here's ARPTC kicking off again. Boston unable to hold on to it, but it goes backwards. She carries it up, looks to set the ruck. They're just between the 5 and 15. They have their back line and goes for the kick. Ooh, advantage was on, so it's going to be a penalty to Boston. We have an ARPTC gal down. Time is off right now as we see medical come onto the field. Boston gonna have the ball in their own half. Their penalty. Potentially kick for a line out if they're looking to gain some territory. Otherwise, set up a tap penalty move, potentially getting the ball into some speedsters' hands.
Tense game here as we have about 4.5, 5 minutes left of gameplay. It's tied 14 all. What are the key aspects of these moments, Abby? Is it just score first? Is it discipline? Is it, what do you think are the key words you'll be telling yourself when you're in these tight games and you know the clock's ticking away?
One thing at a time. I think that's the key for everyone. Boston, you don't want to get too ahead of yourselves thinking, oh, we're tied. Look, right there, one job, kick the ball to touch. She achieved that, and now it's next. What's first? The line out. It's going to be Boston line out there in ARPTC's half. An opportunity here, set piece. Quick line out. They have space, will they get it wide? Messy ball, able to hold on to it. ARPTC with the tackle, Boston maintaining possession. 2v1 on the outside, ARPTC coming across, and the ball goes forward out of Boston's hand. ARPTC scrum.
Costly spill there from Boston, but you were just starting to see a little bit of the wind, you know, behind their sails, like looking like they've got a bit of, you know, emphasis that they feel like they can pull this off, and the game is in the balance, and a costly knock on as ARPTC will play off the scrum.
See if Boston looks to apply pressure. ARPTC in their own 22. Ref looks to reset, so we see a push coming from the Boston forwards. Great idea coming from them. They just need to make sure they push straight and they don't get a penalty.
Very hard to get the ball back in 7s at scrum time, but it does happen.
Again, more pressure, especially on the scrum half. They get the ball to the center. ARPTC, she's having to go. She puts it to the boot for the winger. It's a chase down to regather this ball. She's able to hold on to it. Boston with good support on defense, able to stop it. They have their line set. Let's see if they'll apply some pressure. Great footwork. Tackle is made. Boston with the ruck. She picks and goes. Oh, she dots up. She carves right up the middle of the field. That's Allison Hale scoring. She waits it up in the try zone. Just spotted that little gap. Scores. Puts ARPTC ahead. 19-14.
Big moments there and a really, really needed try from ARPTC. As you said, Allison Hale getting the try.
Big momentum shift with less than 2 minutes to go. That's going to boost ARPTC's confidence and might diminish Boston's, but definitely still in this match. It's a 7-point game, just one converted try with almost a minute left to play. Here it is again, just a cheeky little break right up the middle. She looks back, no one chasing, all clear.
Big restart here.
Costly error for ARPTC, kicking it straight out. That's a free kick to Boston at the halfway, forcing ARPTC back 10 meters. Boston looked to go quick. She taps, she has her someone out wide. Big collision coming in on the edge there. Ball gets pushed out into hands. Ooh, spots a little gap. Boston able to hold on to it. ARPTC really tight around that ruck. Ball back inside, tackles able to be made by ARPTC. You have space out wide. She takes it herself. Again with the one-off runners. Ref says play on, not held. And just get the ball out. Big pressure coming. Able to keep it alive. Oh, unlucky knock on from Boston, giving that ball right back to ARPTC.
Frustrating moments for Boston there. The pass is a little bit too much zip and a little bit behind, and if it got to hand, who knows what might have happened there. As Boston know time is ticking away for them to pull off a comeback.
Looks like they will play the scrum. Time is up on the clock. However, this could be last play. Boston's going to look to apply some pressure at the scrum. Just try and get this ball back for an opportunity to tie it up. High tackle. ARPTC penalty. Again, time is up. You have the scrum half there slowing it down. If she taps and kicks it out, game is over. And there it is. That is game here. Full time, 21-14 to ARPTC. What a match.
Another close competitive game, which is what we want to see in this competition.
Again, ARPTC showing fight, finishing strong, able to get the win, and that's undefeated for them. Boston, tough loss after a great start.
They'll feel that could be one that got away from them there. They had their opportunities.
We have one more women's game up ahead, and we will be back shortly for that coverage.